Yet another coming-of-age film. Oh boy. Turn Me On, Dammit is written and directed by Janik Sistad Jacobson. I really hope I pronounced that right. Starring Helen Bergholm, Malin Jorov, and Henriette Steenstrup. This film takes place in Skodenheim, Norway, and it tells a story about a 15-year-old girl, Alma, who is dealing with her raging hormones. She's horny pretty much all the time. She has numerous sexual fantasies that play out on screen, and occasionally she has phone sex with this guy who I think works for a company. And eventually her mom finds out via the phone bill, which is roughly over $6,000. So yeah, she's kind of horny. This is one of those films where I had no expectations going in. It was okay. I mean, I didn't find anything particularly unique about it. Because the thing is that not a ton happens in this movie, and I imagine that it didn't take that long to shoot, but I could be totally wrong. There's this controversy that happens early on that really just kind of sets the stage for the entire film and is the reason for why the film basically goes on for as long as it does. And it ruins Alma's reputation, not that she really has one, because she's an unpopular girl. And because she lives in this really small town, this controversy becomes like a bigger ordeal than if it happened probably over here. But because it's a small town and there's like no huge events there and it's really just a boring, dull, nothing special happens here, it's like the talk of the town. There are two other girls that she hangs out with, and at a certain point they kind of just split apart. They aren't really that big of friends anymore, and they more or less spend time with one of the girls, kind of, and then like this other girl they don't really spend any time at all with. And I feel they were there just to add length. Like the primary story with Alma and her controversy just wasn't like big enough to fill an entire movie, so they added these two characters to make it feature length, which is fine, but I mean, if you don't need it, then just, you know, don't put it in there. We get several scenes with Alma and her mother, and sometimes just her mother, and while that does kind of add to the story, there's never any mention of her father, which I found very odd. But the relationship between her and her mom is actually pretty interesting. I mean, her mom just doesn't understand what the hell she's going through. She thinks that she's an abnormal child, which she isn't. She's just, you know, going through her hormone years. Not that the hormone years really ever end, just, you know, she's going through the teenage years. And this film just ends like out of the blue. It's like a jogger going across the street and he's heading towards his home, and as he's heading across the street, a truck just comes and smashes into him. And then the screen goes blank, just like, done. It was quite jolting, and I just felt like there was more story to tell. I mean, technically the main story had been concluded and all was like fine and dandy, but there were just a few things that just, I don't know, just didn't conclude very well. But overall, not a bad movie, not really a good movie in my opinion, just, you know, okay. So I'm gonna give it 2.5 out of 5 stars. I doubt any of you are interested in seeing this, but if you are, I'd say rent it.